Hey everyone, welcome back to some more Warframe. This is the return of Ember Prime. She's been gone for a while and she could not have chosen a better time to come back because we're going to be facing some infestation in just a bit. Before we get to that though, we're going to check out our arsenal for this episode. She is currently at rank 24. In the aura mod slot, we're using Rifle Amp to increase rifle damage, which will actually be the only new weapon in this episode. Now I'm kind of spreading myself a little bit thinner than I normally do. Typically, I focus my build around just one ability, but here I'm going for Fire Blast and World on Fire at the same time. So it's probably not the ideal way to set her up. Feel free to share your particular setup in the comments below and I'll check it out. Maybe I'll even make my Ember Prime use that in a future episode. Anyways, we're using Intensify to increase power strength, making the ability stronger against enemies. Continuity will keep them going for a longer period of time. Streamline will make it so that they cost fewer points to cast. Flow allows us to hold more energy at once. Stretch makes the abilities stretch out further. And Steel Fiber increases armor. Redirection increases shield. And Vitality increases health. She actually has pretty high base stats for all three of those. That's why I'm using them. And I typically will put all three of them on unless one of them is especially low on a Warframe. Like for example, if she only had like 10 armor, I wouldn't even bother putting this on there, but until she reaches 30, I keep all three of these on typically.
The system continues to fall into chaos. Check navigation for active invasions.
Yeah, Lotus. Enough of that. Anyways, this will be the first time the Mutalist Quanta appears in the series, and it's actually going to be a little bit different than I typically handle new weapons. So usually I'd make it so that the very first time I ever use it appeared on the video. However, I recorded a video and then somehow the video got messed up and I was using it for a while trying to max out the rank, and one thing led to another. It got up to rank 26. So this will be the first time it ever appears in the series. It actually might be ideal anyway because you get a better idea of how it's going to work towards the end of its effectiveness anyway. So we'll check out the mod setup I've got in there for now. Now I'm using cryo rounds to increase cold damage. Pretty much with this particular polarity slot, you have to choose between status chance or the cold damage. And because I want to put magnetic damage on there, I just put that there, and we put the electricity damage next to it, and that gives us magnetic. Now I of course have to upgrade them more to increase the effectiveness, but we'll do that at a later time. Serration increases the overall damage, and then Speed Trigger increases the fire rate. Now in the last episode we did have the intro of the Quanta. This is the Mutalist Quanta, which is like the same thing except it's been infused with infestation power, or whatever you want to call it. And we are bringing the Wraith Twin Vipers as our backup in case we get in any trouble again. And the dual I-Core is back again too. These are actually meant to be used against the infestation anyway, so we're going to check out how effective they really can be. We got to see a pretty good portion of how awesome they are against the Corpus in the last episode, so I imagine they're going to be even better this time around. We'll have to see. But anyways, that's our arsenal for this episode. Let's get to it. Now we're almost done with Jupiter. We only have a few more missions left. And we're going to do these two Dark Sector missions, Survival and Defense here. Then we'll move on to the Archwing, and that'll be the end of this episode. Then we'll do one more to do Alad V's assassination, and then we'll move on to the next planet in the solar system. So let's start with the Dark Sector defense. So this will be against the infestation, and oh great, somebody controls it. Let's see what their tax is. Oh, nice. They're actually not requiring any tax whatsoever. This is a rare sight. A very rare sight. You know, it's unusual because nowadays you really don't see anybody fighting to gain control of these anymore. Whereas before, I guess Warframe's popularity is kind of going down. It kind of seems like that in a way because they really aren't truly catering to the long-term players. They're basically focusing all these updates on all the new players, trying to pull new people in, and all the older players who eventually get everything and max everything out really don't have a purpose of sticking around, so they don't really stay around too much longer. In most cases, they eventually come back when the new updates come around. Hopefully they'll come up with some better endgame content. We'll have to check it out in the future. But anyways, Infestation, their levels range from 13 to 23. Let's go get them. Alright, so this mission's actually going to be pretty easy in general, but she's going to be well adept at taking care of this right here because of Fire Blast. I love this. Check this out. It puts a ring of fire around the cryopod, so anybody who runs in here is going to get set on fire. Infestation, weak against fire damage, and look at that, he couldn't even get in. The Sentinel is helping me out too, so keep that in mind. Now, Mutalist Quanta, so it's basically the same weapon. It even has the same kind of functionality, except this one fires bullets instead of electricity. And unfortunately, Fire Blast didn't last very long. That's unfortunate. Certainly doesn't last as long as Frost Snow Globe does, anyway. Alright, now we're going to check out the secondary fire. Oh, apparently you can't shoot that one to blow it up. That's kind of weird. Does it blow up on its own? Oh, okay. Or maybe I have to keep shooting it. I'm not sure. I really have no idea. Let's test it out again to see. No, I don't think so. Okay, so it'll just blow up on its own. And it does cause radiation damage, I believe. Yeah, radiation, okay. Very nice indeed. Okay, now my favorite ability is World on Fire, which we're going to save for a bigger group of enemies. This is the end of this wave. Nicely done, Ember Prime, nicely done. Now, I don't know if you remember, but if you've been following the series for a while, you know that Ember was actually my favorite Warframe for a good period of time. And then I came across Volt and it switched over to him and so on and so forth. She's still a really awesome Warframe to use, especially against the infestation. Alright, so we're going to wait for a large group of enemies to appear, and World on Fire shall take care of them. This is using the same tile set as the last episode's defense mission too, because it's on the same planet. Naturally. Alright, here we go. World on Fire, let's just use it. After casting that, we're just going to run around the map, and then the fire will follow us around, taking care of every enemy in sight. And unfortunately, that is not lasting very long either. Wow. Alright. I kind of thought it was going to last longer from what I remember. Maybe they nerfed her since last time I used her. I mean, it has been a while, but anyways. Here we go, wave 5. Now we have some ancients showing up. World on Fire will be especially effective now. Oh, look at all the destruction. So I'm not really a huge fan of the Mutalist Quanta. I like the regular Quanta. I think it's primarily the ability to fire the secondary and then be able to shoot it and cause area of effect damage. Whereas you have to wait for the explosion to occur with this one. Alright, let's get Fire Blast back out there. This mission's pretty easy in general, but Ember's especially able to take care of business here. And that brings us up to Cameria, which is a Dark Sector survival mission against the infestation again. Only their level goes up to 15 to 25 this time, whereas this one was actually 13 to 23. Alright, so it'll be a little bit tougher, and different group actually controls this one. And again, 0 credit tribute and 0 resource tribute. That's actually very odd. This is a rare time in Warframe indeed. Alright, anyways, let's go get them. Alright, so we're getting a large group of them chasing me right now. I want to use World on Fire. See the absolute destruction that's going to cause. Here we go! Oh, they're all burnt to a crisp.
Be on the lookout.
I have to say, I really miss this ability a lot. Okay, anyways. So we're going to pretty much camp around this over here. We're going to extract it 5 minutes. We're not going to show the entire mission, of course. No need for that. We primarily use the Mutalist Quanta in the last mission, so we're going to switch over to Dual Icorn in just a second. I want to see if this will be any more effective here now. Secondary fire. Oh, we need enough ammo to do that. Not too shabby. I mean, it's not great. Definitely need like a catalyst on here to make it better, but I don't think this is a great weapon at all. Okay, anyways. Dual Icorn time. This thing's just gonna tear through them like crazy. I love it. I love it a lot. Definitely try to mix in a slide whenever possible, or a spin attack, whatever you want to call it. See, what I really like about the Infestation is they're the easiest faction in the game, so if you're trying to level up anything, just come and fight them, it doesn't matter. That's why you actually see a lot of people go into the Orokin Derelect defense missions, even though it's more or less meant to be closer to endgame content. People will go there unranked with their friends and stuff who do have a pretty decent rank, and they'll end up leaving with a pretty good amount of levels gained. It's just so easy to fight them, it's crazy. It's primarily because most of them don't have any kind of range attack really, whereas all the other factions have their guns and they can shoot you from a distance. These ones they have to come up close and personal, and even if you're using melee, you're going to kill them before they really get much of their damage in. Unless they're significantly higher level, like maybe if, I don't know, if they were like level 100 and it was taking forever to go through them with your blades and stuff, then maybe you'd see a difference, but as far as most of these missions go, not really. Sayonara, suckers. Alright, so the next mission is going to be an Archwing mission. That means we have to go over the arsenal for it. However, before we get into that, I just want to go over something really quick. You may not have noticed, but Ember Prime has been using the Ember Immortal skin in this episode. So this is what she looks like by default when you first acquire her. No changes to her appearance other than the color scheme, of course. And then with the Immortal skin, this is what she looks like differently, which I think is a better look. It's probably going to be a bigger difference on regular Ember, I'd have to say. We'll check that out in a later episode. But 40 platinum for this one, just like all the other Warframes. I think it's worth it if you have some extra platinum hanging around. Okay, so next up we have to go to the Archwing. Mode select Archwing. Now it's going to be a little bit challenging because all the episodes for Archwing missions so far in the series have been on the PC version. This is the PS4 version, which I really have not been focusing on upgrading this stuff at all. Not that I've really been playing many missions with Archwing in general, but still, ugh. Alright, so Odinata's rank 4. The only mod I have at all is Morphic Transformer, which gives extra power strength, which will definitely come in handy. So we'll definitely take advantage of that for sure. But oh man, I can't believe I don't have any other mods. I have a lot more on the PC version. And then the Imperator. This one does not have any mods whatsoever, so that's a shame. These have all made an appearance in the series up to this point too, so these are not introductions by any means. And then the Veritax. Don't have any mods for that one either. Ugh, okay, so this will be quite a challenge. I think Ember Prime's up for it.
Well put together.
Hopefully.
Now get out there and
that's what I'm counting on.
cut down and make the Lotus proud.
Alright, so back to Jupiter. And then this is the Archwing mission. It's a Sabotage against the Corpus faction. Their levels range from 15 to 17. Oh man. Alright. Enough dreading this. Let's go get him. Alright, so here we are. We've reached the power core. We just have to destroy it to sabotage this mission. And I've never done this before, but I'm assuming we have to destroy these auxiliary power cores. That seems to be an accurate statement. Alright.
You're still in the clear. No detection from enemy sensors. The power core has been destroyed.
Alright, let's get the hell out of here now. Freedom! Freedom! Alright everyone, so that'll about do for this episode. We just have to take care of Alad V in the next one, and then Jupiter will finally be done, and then we'll move on to the next planet. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. As always, be sure to click like. Remember, every like does help me out a lot. Also, hit subscribe to join Seeking Nation if you've not already done so. And I will see you next time.